Hello everyone, Glenda Mollett here, and I'm stamping in my craft room with you today, and we're going to make one of the August 2020 monthly Stamping Club cards. This is Beautiful World, and it's a fun fold. It's called a window flip card. There we go, with a little bit of a twist. I've seen these before, but this one's put together a little bit different. So let's get started. We'll put this up here so you can keep an eye on it. So the kit consists of a very vanilla envelope, a very vanilla, thick, very vanilla card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, a piece of very vanilla for the inside that's 5 by 8, and that's scored at 2, 4, and 6. And then we have a piece of World of Good specialty designer paper that's 5 1/4 by 4 to go right on there. And we have a piece of cinnamon cider that's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. A piece of brass foil that's 2 by 3 and it has adhesive on the back of it. A piece of very vanilla that's 3/4 by 3.5. And then a piece of very vanilla for the pieces that is 3 by 1, and that's the pieces for the inside because these are die cut. I didn't stamp them right on the card base. I die cut them. Okay, so you're probably wondering where all the other pieces are. That's the beauty of this card because it uses the pieces that we're going to cut out of the center to make the mechanism. We're going to use those as part of the card. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is attach your designer paper to your card front. And usually I tell you to make sure you put adhesive in the center so when you do the die cut it doesn't flap around. But in this case you don't want to because we're going to use that piece that we cut out here to make the background for the world. And this is fine. It doesn't flap around. Just make sure your worlds are the right way up and just attach that right to the very vanilla card base. Okay, so now we need to die cut a square. So I'm using the Layering Squares dies, and we're going to use the two biggest ones. I'll just get those out of the way. So the biggest one cuts the hole, and then this one cuts the vanilla piece for the inside. So let's get the magnetic platform. Let's flip this over. I think it's time for a new cutting plate. I've said that before though. Now I'm going to make sure that I put my card in here a little bit crooked because that saves that whole crunching thing for the machine hitting a flat edge. And it's really easy to get this lined up straight because you just got to look at the grid marks. Okay, so now I'll run that through, and we're cutting through designer paper and cardstock at the same time. Go nice and slow so it has time to cut. And if you're hanging over too much, just don't continue. Just do the card halfway through because you want to, you don't want to crunch your card up. Okay, so there we are. So this is the piece, the designer series paper piece that comes out, and we're going to cut the circle out of that. So we have our world, and then this piece just pops out. This becomes that piece that we're going to emboss. But first of all, you have to die cut it with the next size layering square die. So it just fits on there absolutely perfect. Stick it in there a little bit crooked so it doesn't hit with a big kawump. And die cut this out. And we'll do that. Run that through the machine. there's our pieces. This is garbage, don't need that. I'm going to put that die back. This is garbage, so you can keep that or throw it away. Up to you what you do. Okay, so now we've got that piece. Now we have to cut the cinnamon cider piece, and that you go back and use, let's put these out of the way. You go back and use the largest layering square again to cut this out, because then it exactly fits in the hole. Okay, and while I'm at it, I'm going to die cut the base and the world. Oh, let's do it upside down. It cuts a little bit better if it's upside down when you got adhesive on the back of it, like that. Okay. There's a lot of die cutting this month. Go slow over the world, give it time to cut. Oh, just about missed. Okay, so now we're done with the square die, so I'll put that away. And there's the piece that layers under that, and then there's the world, and then that'll fit over top of that, and then there's the stand. So let's just put those dies away so we don't lose them. Okay, now this piece needs to be embossed with the Old World paper embossing folder. Now pay attention to which way you put this on, because you've got your nice rounded corners from your die cut. So this is the side that you want to face in. So if you want poking out pieces to your paper, then you need to put it in upside down like this. If you want indenting pieces, then you put it this way. I like the out. So I'm putting it in there upside down. Now this part's not really necessary if you don't care what your edges look like, but you know me, I'm OCD when it comes to that, and I like my edges to be rounded on the top, because not only do the edges get rounded, but you get that a little bit of paper shifting, crinkling thing at the back. So there we go, that's that done. Okay, so let's attach this piece, the piece we just embossed. We're going to attach it to our cinnamon cider piece, like this. Let's make sure it's kind of centered in there and straight. There we go. That's that done. Now, this, put your worlds the right way up, and then we'll remove the adhesive. Let's try going over top of this, see how many of these pieces we can get out. I won't have to have so many hanging around on my finger. I love my take your pick tool. It never leaves my craft table. It's always on my craft table. Now I'll take the adhesive off the back. Sorry, I'm not in. See, and then you don't have all those little pieces hanging around. Make sure your world is the right way up. There's an extra piece on there that's not supposed to be there. And just lay that on top of that, like that. So this mechanism is not my idea, however the card layout is mine. Okay, now this gets popped up on dimensionals, that. And this gets laid flat, but it's got adhesive on it because the adhesive was over the whole thing, so you just have to remove the liner. Put this on first because then you know where you're putting your world. Okay, and I haven't pushed it down yet, so I'm just going to make sure that, yeah, that's good. It's not quite the center though. Okay, it's going there. Now, let's put the world on its base, like that. I thought there for a sec I had my world upside down. Okay, there. That's done. Now, let's get the sentiment done. So this is a piece of 3/4 inch, and I'm going to stamp it in Memento ink. And this is a sentiment from the stamp set. Okay, I'm sorry I have to put it Okay, let's hope that this is straight. Oh Lord, it's not straight at all. There. That would be better. Now we're going to use the Lucky Labels Pick-a-Punch to do that, and you can choose which one you want to use. It's completely up to you. So I did that one already. Let's do this one. And hopefully your paper just fits in there perfectly. You can turn it around and look at the other side and make sure it's centered. Okay, there's that. And that's going to have dimensionals as well. I'll use these nice big ones. I forget about these big ones. There's black ones too, and I don't know why I don't have any. I have them, I just don't know where they are. Oh, Lord help me. I put the dimensionals on the wrong side. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can get them up without destroying the cardstock. What do you think? You think it's possible? I don't think so. I think I'm going to have to get me another piece. Come on. Those two didn't come off too bad. You're probably sitting there laughing your head off. I am. It's like, oh my God, how stupid can you be? Yay, look at that. It's not exactly straight, but it'll do. It's more straighter than this one is. Okay, it's straighter than that one. Okay. There we go. All right, the inside mechanism. I'll get that piece of cardstock. Oh, you need to stamp the pieces. The pieces. The pieces. The inkwell and the feather. I was going to say fern. Okay, it's not a fern. It's not a fern, woman. It's a feather. Okay. We'll stamp the inkwell in Memento ink. And then we'll stamp the feather in Cinnamon Cider. I love this color. I love all the new in colors. They are just... Uh-oh. Guess I shortchanged you on the cardstock. Oh well. So stamp your inkwell first. Then you'll know how much room you have. Hey. Need to die cut these now. The inkwell. And I don't think I'm going to be able to cut the feather at the same time because of how I've got it stamped on here. Nope. Okay, so let's just cut the inkwell out first. Okay, that worked. Have our inkwell. Put the dye away so I don't lose it. Now let's put feather on here. Okay, gotta move it. Let's bend it a bit. Maybe it'll stick a little bit better. There we go. There we are. So I'll just run that through. Uh-oh. I hate it when that happens. Look. I'm getting another piece of Very Vanilla because I don't like it when it goes that. I don't like the cut when it's sideways. Now you're probably sitting there saying, well, why don't you use your template? I don't know why I didn't use the template. Because I thought I was smart. I'm not. Okay. There's the feather. Let's get this out. Find my feather template because I do have one. Right there. Okay, let's not lose our inkwell. Okay, so now you take the feather template, you put it over top of the feather, like that. And it does have some adhesive on the other side, so it won't move. Okay. Needs to be moved a bit. Come on, get up. It wasn't... Am I even in frame? I don't know. Didn't even look to see if I was oriented properly. I'm just assuming. Okay, so there you go. So now that die won't move because it's sitting in a hole made by that template. Yay! Oh well, not exactly straight, but it's much better than it was. Okay, let's just put the template away and we'll put the die away. Okay, so we have that die cut. Now this, that's what it looks like. So you need a valley, a mountain, a mountain. See that? A valley, a mountain, and a mountain. So I've already got one mountain. So I need another mountain. Just make sure your edges line up. And then this one goes the other way. And I'm just making sure that these edges here line up before I use my bone folder because you need a straight mechanism. Okay, so there. That kind of looks like this looks. Well, except it's upside down. So there you go. Okay, so you attach this piece to the card. Okay, so it goes on the inside like this. So you just make sure this is centered with the same frame all the way around. Okay, you can't see that because apparently mine. Hi, I'm back. Sorry, my video got interrupted for some unknown reason, so I'm back with part 2. So I haven't moved anything. It's all exactly where it was. So you just attach this so that it's centered here on this far panel, and then you take this and close it like this. So you need to make sure you don't put adhesive anywhere near this part because that's the part that swings. So just take a pencil and draw some lines on there like that. So now that tells you where not to put your adhesive. So you want to put your adhesive only down this side of it. See, I've got adhesive only there. You don't want to attach this because then things don't move properly. So you want your adhesive to go right against that edge all the way to the top and then right next to it. Not too much distance between the two of them. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this around and put a little bit of adhesive right here at the top. You want to make sure you go right up to the edges of it. Okay, so now I'm going to take my eraser and I'm going to erase those marks. You don't want them showing after you get your card put together. There we go. Okay, so now close your fold like this and then just take your card front and fold it in on itself. And make sure you get good adhesion. Now you could use tear and tape for this. I should have, and I forgot. But see, now it moves. Okay, so that we've done the mechanism. Now we just have to put the front pieces on, and we've all got it all assembled. So the front piece is going to attach only to this. So if you put your adhesive in here like this, because you know your cinnamon cider piece is exactly the same size as the hole because you cut it out with the same die. There we go. So then you got your adhesive on there where you need it, only on this side. Don't put adhesive on this side, then your card's not going to work. Then take your cinnamon cider piece and just fit it back in the hole like that, and then push it down so you get good adhesion on there. There you go. See, it works. Kind of cool, eh? And like any other card, the more you move it, the more it remembers where it's supposed to be. Okay, so now we can put the inkwell and the feather pen in here on the inside. Now you could just stamp this if you want. I just decided that I wanted it to be separate. There we go. So there's the card. Except the sentiment, which is done. I just have to attach it. And I apologize for this being in two pieces. Maybe I'll see if I can find a program that'll allow me to stitch it together. I doubt it, but I'll look. So on the envelope I did the same thing, only I didn't die cut it, I just stamped it. So let's get the envelope first of all. And I always start with the inkwell first. And stamp it first. And then we'll stamp the feather pen. There we go. Now while I'm at it, let's stamp the name on the back, because then it's done. Hey, there we are. There's the two cards. Adventure Awaits window flip card. Another Glenda Mollett original. Not the flippy part, but the layout part. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stampin' Smiles, and bye for now.